the first one I'm going to taste tonight is this right here. This is Beartooth's collaboration with Middle West Spirits out of Columbus, Ohio. It is a rye whiskey, and I am really, really excited to review this one. I'm a big Beartooth fan, but also I think Middle West is doing some great, great stuff out there in Ohio. The Middle West straight rye whiskey coming out of Columbus, Ohio. Now, why this is like a really, really interesting product for me. I'm excited to taste this. The mash bill on this whiskey, listen to this, folks. Listen to this mash bill. 85% dark pumpernickel rye, okay? That's a cool note, or that's a cool particular type of rye. 10% two-dent corn, 2.5% soft red winter wheat, and 2.5% of two-row barley. Now, here is something very important to note. There is not a lot of two-row barley being malted around this country, and so they got some from Ohio. Very, very exciting to see what this is going to smell and taste like. It's called Barry's Batch, and if you look closely on the bottle, you will see a, let's go ahead and pull it up. I'll show it to you real closely. You will see a skull, like a devilish kind of person. So if you happen to buy this around children, I wouldn't recommend letting them hold the bottle. But you shouldn't be letting your children hold your whiskey bottles anyway. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into Barry's Batch. This is a 3-year-old rye. Woo! Just starts right off like some cherry. Really deep cherry. I also get a little bit of rhubarb in there. I don't get a lot of rhubarb in ryes, but this is very, very interesting. Rhubarb and cherry right out of the bat is what I get. My God, for a 3-year-old rye, this is tasting like it's 6 to 10 years old. It's got a lot of those deep, really, really deep, sweet notes that you get from something that's been aging for a while. So it's a lot sweeter than you would typically find with a rye, but it comes in with a whole cadre of spices. It is lighting up the back of my palate where you find all the spice notes, but it's this spiciness with a layer of sweetness, almost like a cotton candy. This is fantastic. This is like my second taste. I'm getting like a taste of a cinnamon roll, so that spice is pronouncing itself a lot deeper. Typically that spice is, it's in that back palate. You notice it's a spice, but when you go back in for that second taste and you're really trying to analyze it, kind of break it down, you kind of fall on the curve of, is it a baking spice or is it a pepper spice? Well, what we have here is we have a rye in Middle West's Barry's Batch 1, a collaboration with Beartooth that is presenting baking spices, but there's also the sweet notes that are coming in underneath. So that's why I say this is like a cinnamon roll. This is like a really heavy cinnamon roll. You get down in the deep center of it, and you're going to get a puff of cinnamon, and that's the really, really prominent note there. In terms of the finish, it actually finishes, pretty strong with a hint of vanilla. So, like I was saying, this is quite a bit sweeter than you would expect to normally find a rye, but that spice is right there, and this is a fantastic release by Middle West. Kudos to you all for a great collaboration here with Beartooth.